Welcome to this edition of the Phil Taylor Jones Show. We're happy that you could come along on this little adventure with us. Today we're going to be going back into something that just seemed to not go away, and that's this refugee, what they call crisis. I call it a debacle. Excuse me, I'm Phil Taylor Jones, your host, and we're going to jump into that subject at this moment. Today I was looking at this little news program that I usually watch on telly, and they brought back this ridiculous guy. But before we get into that, I was also looking on social media, and I came across something that was very profound, and if you will allow me, I will read it to you. It's regarding just a bit of common judgment, which seems to be so lax when talking about this subject. And it reads, "Not taking in Syrian refugees or closing our borders is not being mean or heartless. I lock my doors every night, not because I hate the people outside of my house, but because I love the people inside of my house." Doesn't get any better than that. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. And when it comes to your family, your loved ones, your country, then we need to be more self-preserving. Having said that, this idiot, his name is Peter Bouckaert. He's a Belgian citizen, and I guess he's some kind of freelancer that works for the Human Rights Watch. And he goes all around places, I guess, banging on the tom-toms for human rights, which in and of itself isn't a bad thing. But when he goes around spewing the kind of garbage and the kind of rhetoric that he does about a country that isn't even his, then that's what makes, the old red flags go up for me. He got on the subject, and believe it or not, folks, I'm still battling this, whatever it is, flu or cold or whatever. He's going around beating on the tom-toms about the refugees. He's obviously gone to Lesbos, Greece, a little island in Greece where they're jumping off. They're talking about the little flotillas that they have and how dangerous it is, and how one little boy drowned and he was the first to put that picture up, and all of this yada yada yada, all this hoo-yang-yang about something that is sheer idiocy, and how America is basically dropping the ball when it comes to accepting these people in, and how in essence idiotic we are, becoming Islamophobes just because of 129 people being killed in Paris and close to 400 more being injured. I think that number went up to 130, if I'm speaking correctly. Okay, well, to you, Peter Bouckaert, screw you, pal. Number one, you don't live in this country, so you don't dictate policy as to what goes on here. As I've said to so many of these idiots, these jackasses that try to either dictate policy in our country or have actually come here, like these idiots in this CAIR or whatever for American Islamic relations. Yeah, they come and try to dictate policy. Screw all you bastards for doing something like that. This idiot, he was talking his usual rhetoric, and a couple of things he said really caught my eye, or at least my ear. One of them is, well, we accept 8 to 15,000 people a day for concerts and shows and promotionals. Yeah, this is true, Peter, but after the show, which lasts for about an hour, up to 3 maybe, the people go home. We're not trying to accept them, and put them up in our country. And the shows may not happen every day. They may be seasonal, they may be in the summertime, but it's not like we're taking 8 to 15,000 people a day for, say, the last 5 months. So that's where you're totally off the mark. you stupid idiot. And then he said that America has the greatest screening process in the world, and that with these refugees, when they're screened, because there are already some that have been sent, the numbers are sketchy. Anywhere from 1,500 to 5,000 have already been sent into the country, not to mention all of those ones that have been here since the 9/11 attacks. So again, he's talking about we've got the best screening system in the world, and the people are screened 4 or 5 different ways by 5 or 6 different agencies, which is bull-loney, because as I alluded to in another show, if you are a refugee, you don't have time to go around and pick up all of the necessary things that you need when bombs are coming in at you at a leisurely 595 miles an hour. So you pick up what little few things you can out the door and you're gone. So that may not include proper identification, travel identification such as passports, visas, whatever. So a lot of these people are going to wherever it is they are with nothing more than a few little things in a grocery bag and the funky clothes on their backs. So get off of that, Peter. And again, if America has all of this technology and all of this fine screening system, then how in the holy hell did 21 million illegal foreigners that are currently here get here? So that's a bunch of bull crap. Thirdly, politicians in about 25 or 26 or so states have declared that they are not, and I reiterate, not going to accept these people in. Now, where that goes, I don't know. Because if old bastard has his way, everybody's going to accept them no matter what state you're in. So that has to be kept an eye on. But for the rest of the people around the world, around the country, who feel as I do, you know, keep getting on the phones. Now, I don't know whether or not that number that I had given you on a previous show is still up and running, but you can still call your congressman, your senator, call whoever it is you have to call and let them know that you are still opposed, very much so, to any of these people coming, or any more of these people, I should say, coming into this country. They are potentially dangerous. As I said before, I am very sure that there are people out there that are in need. Very sure that there are people that are truly refugees from a war-torn country. But you got to remember this. The problems that they have, the baggage that they have from their war-torn country, they're bringing to our country. They're bringing to any host country that is willing to take them in. Will it be a flashback to something dangerous? We don't know. Could there be a sprinkling of ISIS or Al-Qaeda or Boko Haram or whichever one of these names you want to put on these people within that serving of refugees? Most definitely so. That's why Paris got bombed. That's why people got shot up over there. No security system in the world is that tight that you can stick out your chest and say haughtily, we cannot be infiltrated. That was America's problem during 9/11. We were falsely secure, and they didn't come over initially and bomb and run planes through the building. They were already here. Because it, as any pilot knows, it takes more than 5 lessons to fly a 767. That's a big jet, big Boeing. We're not talking about a Cessna 152. We're definitely not talking about a hang glider. We're not talking about a microlight or an ultralight. We're talking about a big, you know, good sized aircraft. And it takes a lot of time to learn how to fly those. And, you know, these people were here, as I alluded to earlier. Many of them have been here since 9/11. How many of them are honest-hearted? How many of them are waiting for that tweet, waiting for that text, waiting for that phone call, or that computer message to tell them to go into action? We don't know. So we still have those to contend with, waiting on that shoe to drop on that score alone. So we don't need anybody else to come over here and join the party. So let your government officials know, for whatever it's worth, because they're nothing but a bunch of muckety-mucks, a bunch of idiots, for even considering this crapola in the first place. Let them know that you are not happy with this potential threat to our country. And it is a threat. Because our governmental officials are idiots. From old bastard down to John Scary and all the rest of them. They're idiots, pure and simple, for even thinking about putting us in danger. The guy wants us dead, oh bastard. You know, he's proven that. So, you know, I just wanted to say that. And let me just throw in one other little quick thing. We're kind of jumping out the boat on this one, but I had to bring it in because on this little news show I was watching, which is, what can I say about news whores? They were talking about this governor or mayor who has just been elected. Well, not just been, he's been here and there something like 12, 15 months, but he's newly elected, shall we say. And he's pushing for tougher gun laws in Newark, New Jersey, I believe it is. And there again, you know, they need to come down off this gun law crap. The only reason they're beating on that tom-tom is to disarm America, disarm patriots and land-loving citizens who will stand up and protect this country should anything crooked arise. They're trying to disarm America because anybody knows that gun laws are for honest citizens. Because the ones who are getting these guns and wreaking all this havoc don't go to the gun stores and do it by normal protocol. They're getting them through the back streets. They're coming up from different parts of the southern hemisphere. They're getting them off the internet. You know, they're getting them out that crooked-nosed guy in the van in the back alley. They're not getting them by the means by which you and I would get them. So they need to come off that crap. And they also need to come up with the fact that why do people figure that they can settle their problem by picking up a gun and blowing up somebody away? Because they're taught. They're taught by way of that big old, you know, big screen thing that sits in your living room or your den. It's called a television. It's taught when people go to the movies. It's taught when they play these really violent video games. That's the way people learn. So if you want to ban something, why don't you ban some of that? You know why you won't? Because there's too much money involved, you greedy bastards. So therefore, you know, get off the gun control, because we've got some of the stiffest laws in the world. And it's a funny thing that about 4 or 5 little juicy states, unfortunately, one of the ones I was born in, Michigan, Detroit, with greater specificity, is one of the most violent cities in the world. And then one that's about maybe 70, 80 miles away, Chicago, is another. So while you're preaching gun laws, it's more than that. If somebody kills somebody with a brick, would you then want to implement brick laws or baseball laws? I mean, come on, people, get serious. All right, thank you very much for joining the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Hey, Thanksgiving is coming up. What are you thankful for? You know, I know we're thankful for a lot of things. Thankful to be living in this country with all of its problems. It's still, you know, somewhat better than some of the other places in the world. So, you know, if we don't do another show between now and Thanksgiving, have a great, happy, safe one. And remember, don't drink too much and don't eat too much, because neither you or the turkey can make it on one wing. So have a good one. Stay safe and happy. And hey, just before we go, there's another patriot out there that I want to give a shout out to. His name is Oscar Hildebrand. He's a wonderful friend and supporter of the Phil Taylor Jones Show. And he has a channel on YouTube as well. And we just want to give a shout out to Oscar and all the fine work that he's doing. He's a true patriot. And do yourself a favor and check out and support and subscribe to his channel. You'll be glad you did. Oscar tells it like it is. Oscar don't take no mess. He's a true patriot, and the Phil Taylor Jones Show recommends him highly. Stay safe and take care, and we'll see you next time, hopefully with a clearer voice on the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Take care. Bye-bye.